What's going on, everybody? Gentleman 94 here. Welcome back to Sci-Fi Wednesdays, and today we are continuing with the Viper Mark 7. We have off-camera covered this in a gloss coat of future floor polish, and we're going to be putting the decals on, and we'll be painting up the guns. Once those are on, we're good to go. Then we have to put the canopy on, and that should be the end of it, at least in terms of assembly. We do have to weather it and all that, but I'm not sure how to do it. But first thing is we have the gloss coat down, so now we can apply the decals. And then, of course, after the decals are done, then we can come back and we can figure out what to do with weathering. That's going to be kind of difficult. And of course, the canopy, I actually want to spray in a like a smoke color to kind of give it a bit of a tint, because I would like the look of that. So other than that, everything will be assembled and ready to go. Next episode, we'll probably start weathering this thing and see how that goes. But for now, yeah, we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit the decals. I kind of missed a few spots now that I'm looking more closely, so we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, let's do it. Alright, so decals are here. Let's see how they look here. There we are. Nice. I don't know if you guys can see these here, but yeah, we got Pegasus and Galactica starfighters. We have a bunch of different pilots. I'm going to be doing Apollo. So we need a couple of tools. I need my scissors to cut these decals out. And let's see, we'll need our micro saw and micro set. These are imperative when putting on decals. Gotta have those. And we're going to need, let's see, what else we need here. We need some brushes. Here we go. We're going to need a brush to go ahead and apply the micro set, and then the micro saw. Let's see, what else? Got my water for my decals. Can't forget to mention that. And yeah, I think we're pretty good. So we're going to start from the nose, work our way to the aft tail section, and then the wings. So that should be pretty decent. Alright, everybody, I have cut out all of the necessary decals for this build. And we're going to start by going ahead and placing from the nose the buzz numbers. At least I'm assuming that that's what they're called. Just to let you know, guys, if you're noticing, the image quality should be better for everybody because I actually have a different camera. I've retired the GoPro and now I'm using a Canon Vixia HFR 800. This is my first time ever really using this camera, so hopefully you guys like the image quality. But I bought it specifically for these types of builds because it has higher resolution. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. It does great for micro detail. It's just a nice little camera. So hopefully you guys enjoy the picture quality because it is updated from what it was. Anyway, back onto the build. So let's dip a little bit of micro set on my brush. And we're just going to apply a little bit right here on the nose. There we are. And that's going to be that. Now we'll take one of the decals and we're going to slide that one on. Yep, they're ready to go. Okay, tell you what, let's put the model down. I don't have a third hand, so that won't work. And we're just going to pinch it with our thumb, slide it off the backing, and we'll go ahead and position this thing and see what we can do. But I think in order to do that, I need my pin vise and I need my hobby knife. I use my hobby knife to kind of position this where I want it to be. And see, right about there. Trying to even it out between the panel lines based on the picture, of course. And let's grab a Q-tip as well. And a couple of Q-tips. Let's see. No, not that one. This one. There we go. Cotton bud. And we're just going to roll it along the decal, kind of smoothing it out, pushing out all the excess liquid. And yeah, I think that should be good. Oh man, it's already going to start to look better. And make sure that it's even. I don't want it to be crooked. So I'm going to go ahead and continue doing these decals in that same pattern. A little bit of micro saw, slide the decal on, and position it, and then we'll be back and I'll show you what we have. Okay guys, so we're about halfway through. We are just putting on the Galactica marking for the Battlestar Galactica, and I'm just going to be positioning these. I'm trying to use the tail end of it lined up with one of the edges of the intake so that it's even on both sides. It's coming along. I think it's going to be alright. And then of course roll it with our Q-tip. Really putting on decals is the same no matter what you're doing, be it sci-fi, be it cars, tanks, whatever the case may be, aircraft. No, it doesn't matter. You're going to put your micro set, You're going to apply decals to a glossy finish. I should mention that first. Hit it with microset, get the decal on there, and then hit it with microsol after you're done. And I'm going to go ahead and hit everything with microsol. So I'm going to just continue putting these on with microset, and after everything is on, then I'll go back over and I'll hit it with microsol. So I think that'll be a decent way to do it. And we're just going to move on to the next couple of decals, finish off this bad boy. So we'll be right back, guys. See you in 1 sec. Alright guys, we are back. We have all the decals on. We're going to go ahead and start with the microsol. And we've already washed our brush off, so we shouldn't have any microset residue. And we're just going to brush a nice coating of microsol over each of these decals. That should help them conform to any panel lines. It should also really give them that painted on appearance. And I mean, I've always had good luck with microsol and microset working in conjunction. So I hit microset first, then I follow up with microsol. The decals will sometimes go crazy on you. They'll wrinkle up, look like they're disintegrating, but they're not. It's just the way that the formula works. So this should be fine. Looks like, yeah, there's a couple sections that really don't need to conform to any panel lines, but you know what? I'm just going to put it on anyway. Doesn't matter. Got the buzz numbers, got the tail numbers, got Galactica here. Intake marking, got the no steps, and that Galactica marking as well. Want to really make sure that these look like they're painted on. And get the kill markings on the side. Those kill markings, if I'm not mistaken, those are something that the Battlestar Pegasus pilots used to put on the side of their aircraft, so I'm not sure if I should have put the kill markings on for Apollo's ship. I mean, if I go by the lore of Battlestar Galactica, I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched it. Alright guys, we are back, and here we go. This is all the decals on. We have microset, microsol, and now we're just going to let them cure, probably for a couple of days before we get back out on the kit. It looks cool, but I mean, it is kind of stark. They are unweathered at this point, so they're going to look kind of blatantly glaring in your face, but they still look cool. So next we're going to go ahead and tackle the guns. So let's see what we got. Alright guys, so I'm going ahead and painting up the guns. I've cleaned them up a little bit, cleaned up I guess the muzzle breech or whatever they call it, and cleaned it up. I'm now using this NATO Black by Tamiya to go ahead and paint with a brush just these guns. I didn't feel like putting my airbrush together and, thinning out some paint and shooting it through the airbrush. I figured these are small. They shouldn't really need to be airbrushed. So I'm just going to try my luck at brush painting. And I want to say brush painting is kind of a lost art. I follow a couple of guys on YouTube that do brush painting for the majority of their work, and their models look fantastic. So you don't have to have an airbrush to get a model looking good. It doesn't hurt, but you don't have to. You can do the same things with brushing. It just takes a lot longer. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off the last little bit here, and then we'll be back tackling that canopy. So we'll see you in 1 second, guys. Alright, we are back, and I painted up the guns. They're drying off to the side. And what I want to do now is I want to put on the last 2 remaining decals that I have. And they need to go into the cockpit. One is a no step mark that goes, I guess, on the head-up display shield. I don't know what they really want to call it. And the other one is the marking for Galactica that's going to go on the shoulder pad of the pilot. So we're going to need some microset again. And we throw a little bit of that on with my brush. There it is. Sadly, I didn't actually gloss coat this section, so I don't know if that's going to make a big deal once we get it on. It's going to be so tiny, maybe it won't really show. If anything else, I can just paint over some future and it should be fine too. So we'll just slide this off onto this area. There we are. There's a lot of liquid on there. I don't know if it's really going to stick to anything. I'm going to try a Q-tip. Oh, nope, that doesn't really work. I use back to the knife. Just got to make sure this is lined up nicely. Man, this thing moves a lot. Let's try. You can kind of see it there. It's almost lined up. That's pretty good. Yeah, there you can kind of see there. Got the no step. So that's cool. And the Q-tip, of course, we'll get all those kind of squared away. get all that extra moisture off. And it looks good. Looks like a decent looking little decal. But unfortunately, like I said, I didn't gloss coat that. So that's going to be rough, I think. Oh well, it's fine. Let's get the shoulder markings on. And I don't really need to worry too much about that. It's tiny decal. So tiny. So there's actually two of them too. There's one on the right and one on the left shoulder. But we're just going to do the one that shows Galactica because I can't reach the other shoulder. So I'm sure it's fine. Alright guys, last step I want to do today is I wanted to use up the last bit of my Tamiya Smoke. And Tamiya Smoke is one of those types of paints that I very rarely use, but it works very well in tinting. So it's kind of like a clear, like a clear paint, clear green, clear red, clear blue, clear yellow, whatever the case may be. But this smoke color is almost like a clear black in a way, and it gives it a really nice like tinted effect. As long as I can do it right, it's going to look pretty cool, I think, and it'll help to kind of knock down some of the starkness of the cockpit area. So I think this is good. I have very little left in here, so a little bit of isopropyl should help thin this out so that I can airbrush it, and just prime the airbrush just a little bit, make sure that we have enough in there. Everything's flowing. Yeah, looks good. Alright, some nice even passes just with that smoke color. I'm rotating the canopy as I paint so that everything is evenly covered. Yep, it's kind of hard to tell because I've got the blue tape on the inside, but I did this on purpose so that I wouldn't have to hold the inside of the canopy. I could just hold the tape and it works just fine. Okay guys, so we are done for today. I'm pretty confident that we can finish this up on the next episode. We can get the weathering started, and I don't know how to do that, but this is what we came up with so far. So you can see we've got all the decals on. It is gloss coated, of course. We're going to let these cure. We're going to come back. We're going to overcoat it with some future, but we have to figure out how to weather this guy because I don't really know how to do that. Like I said, next time though, we're going to put some of this future over the decals so that they really get sealed up and they're not going to get damaged when we start to weather. And also the canopy as well came out decently. It's going to be nice, very slightly tinted. I think it's going to look great. So guys, we're going to call it here. We'll be back next week with another Sci-Fi Wednesdays, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. We'll see you soon.